Oh, and before we start, I wanted to throw out there. So last week when I left on this episode, it looked so much better. Only four of us. It was like four of us on a screen. The fifth person throws the screen off.
No, it didn't.
All right, 4 idiots talking toys.
You guys looked a lot better with only you four. Because it was
Let's see.
four
Four
squares.
idiots talking toys. Okay.
Hello and welcome to another episode of 5 Idiots Talking Toys. This is a collector's podcast and you're watching our regular episode every Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. Thanks very much for joining us. You can find us here on YouTube if you're watching right now. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and please comment. Hit that bell icon and click the all choice so that you can find all of our videos throughout the week, be notified as soon as they go live. If you're a podcast fan and you're listening on your favorite podcast app, you can follow us there as well on Google, Apple, Spotify, etc. So welcome to the show. Thanks very much for joining us. We are vintage Star Wars fans. We are collectors. We are collector sellers, and we are ready to talk about the hobby of collecting vintage toys. Let's bring in the fellas. John's here. Brandon is here. Charles and Christopher. What's up, guys? How are you guys doing tonight?
What's going on? No
gloves. Dripping
gloves.
enthusiasm as
You're
always.
still sick. You're still sick.
I know. That's unbelievable.
Still sick.
Unbelievable.
Still sick.
Chris
My
still has
ear
ear
is
infection.
It's
Your ear's
perfect.
perfect.
I
The
hear great.
infection's gone. Good.
Yeah, it's completely gone. So
So what's been going on, guys? Everybody's busy heading into the summer. We talk all the time, so I kind of know that everybody's been busy lately. What's been going on in the collector hobby? Have you guys been in tune in the groups and the regular places that we hear the latest? What's the topic of the week, or what's the feeling of the week?
I would like to actually start and mention something that you mentioned in last week's episode.
Okay.
How you were saying that you're starting to get a little tired of the groups and just not a little overwhelmed by it. I got to tell you, I'm feeling the exact same way.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get over it. Every day, the social media, there's always people complaining, always people fighting. There's drama going on every single page. And it's definitely starting to get to me a little bit.
Except for Rogue 5 Toys. There's no drama there.
Correct.
It is true. We don't.
No, because we don't let people sell on there. So it's just us. So they can't make these dumb posts and, ask these stupid things. But I definitely am getting a little tired of the groups. I think I need to step back for at least a day or two, recharge the battery, and just take a break.
What's funny is that it's following the same people. Usually it's the same people that are fighting constantly. The same names, everything being thrown out there,
And the same people
new pet peeves.
Yeah.
And the same people are doing the whole thing with, here's a nice blue snaggletooth. Oh, I've got 3 of them. Who cares? Nobody asked.
I know.
Let me show you.
Yeah, who cares?
I never understood that. I never ever understood that. Someone goes, "Hey, I got this," and he goes, "I got 7."
And you know what? I'm going to tack on to that. You want to talk about a pet peeve. One step further of that same example is somebody posts something for X dollars, and a lot of times they're right on with what the current price is, and everybody else is like, "Oh, wow, that's really nice." There's always one guy that chimes in that's going for that price now? Whoa, so glad I bought mine 5 years ago. Nobody cares when you bought yours. Nobody cares how much you paid 5 years ago. Yeah. It's the going rate now. It's, maybe you're not on top of the hobby every, month or you haven't looked at the price in a year. We don't need your comment on how you think it's too much money.
Yeah.
My fatigue on there has gotten so bad. I'm not even logging in. I'm looking. It's just it's too much. Recently, there's just so much stuff that's I don't know. It's so annoying. It really is. A lot of it's annoying.
there's a lot of price bashing going on lately, and it's not even one particular group. It's all the groups. It's like you just go on, and just like Shane said, you see a guy will always comment and say that it's going for that price. That's ridiculous.
Maybe I should sell mine.
Yeah, maybe I should sell mine. It's just like,
Maybe you
all
can
right,
just
man,
shut
like,
up.
Why do they have to write? Like, some people have to respond. Like, they can't just click past it. Just don't write anything. Someone's trying to sell something. Like, no one cares what you think.
Right. Right. And if somebody overprices something, it will take care of itself. It won't
Correct.
sell.
correct.
What I was just going to say, when I said that, started with that comment in the last episode last week, it wasn't so much that I would say that I was tired of the groups, but there are some aspects that you've now detailed that I am tired of. But I was really just saying that I'm having some fatigue. I'm like too addicted to my phone, too addicted to social media. And, you know, we do this show, so we feel obligated to keep up on what's going on in the hobby, constantly checking our channels, updating our channels, recording for this show. So we're already involved to that degree, more than an average collector is normally. And so I'm just having some fatigue with worrying about checking social media and the groups multiple times a day. Like, now that the summer's here and I have other stuff I want to do, now I'm out of the house, like meaning physically outside, doing stuff in my yard and things like that. I'm going to just naturally let that dwindle a bit, and I'll check it in the night, in the evening when I sit down, because it was too much all winter long. And, you know, I'm just like, addicted to it. I know you guys are as well.
We're all feeling the same thing. You know what really grinds my gears? That just grinds the gears is you sell something and then somebody has to respond like, oh, I'm looking for that, but not in that condition. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Who wants to hear your comment?
Just don't say anything.
I like to look for that item, but in lesser condition.
Yeah,
is what I like to write on there.
Really grind my gears.
You have that in a beater. I don't feel like paying that much for that.
I'm constantly deleting comments on the other page that I'm on because people are just, it's like a free-for-all. People think that they can just say whatever they want.
Yeah, you got to use a little decorum in the groups. I know, listen, we're adult men who are collecting toys. It's not like we're, purchasing fine art. We get it, but use a little decorum, like use a little bit of common courtesy. Don't make somebody's post or sale look negative. Now, there's a difference there. If you're an educated collector and you see something vastly wrong, you know, there's a couple different ways you can go about it, but you could possibly be trying to protect somebody who wouldn't know. But there's ways to do that as well. You could PM the person directly. You could make a comment so that your point comes across to a potential buyer, but in a nice way.
Shane, no one's going to listen to you.
Beyond that, all the negative commenting, it's just not necessary.
Well, some people know, have tact, and they're able to PM people, and not everybody. I mean, I've done it a couple times where I notice that somebody puts something up as a reproduction item, and they're a pretty big name in the group, and I'll PM them and be like, "Hey, you might want to check that blaster on Luke. It looks kind of fake." And
they get so mad.
What's usually the response?
They're like, "Let me take a look," and they're like, "Oh, you're right. Thanks for PMing me about it instead of blowing me up on the page." So, that's one way to go about it. Yeah,
I almost never get that. They normally just, nah, bro, it's good. I'm like, all right.
See, and the thing is, we live in a society now that encourages your opinions about every little thing.
Yeah,
everybody's an expert now.
Everything.
I've kind of taken Charles's approach on that because I did it a few times, and the guy actually got mad at me, and even though I was right, so now when I see something, I don't say anything.
Probably because you told him, "Hey, that piece you got there is garbage."
Garbage.
Shane loves that word. He's like, you guys say that all the time. If you
garbage.
I think it was maybe during the Boba Fett series it was said, but Shane's like, hey, they're still saying it. They're still saying it. That grinds my gears.
And garbage.
Shane is at a loss of words.
Garbage.
A loss of words.
Shane is finally lost for words. How?
I'm working on the ticker on the screen. It's garbage.
So there actually was a seller the other day that was selling a fairly large group of figures on one of the groups, or a couple of the groups actually. And I zoomed in on the hands of the figures because I was like, what is this stuff? So I PM'd him and I said, like, hey, like, is the hand melted? Is the accessory melted? And he goes, no, that's 3mm fun tack. And I said, what? I said, why is it in the hands? He goes, oh, everyone does that. Everyone puts them in to hold accessories. And I'm like, honestly, I've been doing this for years. I have never seen that before in my life.
Yeah, I just use super glue.
Never. Super glue, yeah.
And, you know, I have this figure sitting here. I think I've shown this figure before as a pickup at the time, but I picked this up from a toy show. I don't know that it's perfect or anything, but it's a really nice Fett. And I just picked it up because it was a fair price. It's got the blaster, and the limbs are actually fairly tight, but it's got the blaster super glued in the hand. You can even see the glue right there, probably.
Perfect.
But I knew that going in, like the seller was like, I bought a couple of figures. She's like, the guy I bought them from, he glued them into the hand. So just so you know, but it's just such a nice Fett. I have it sitting right in front of my monitor while I work. I just bought it because I liked it. But I guess back then when the figures weren't worth much, people did whatever they wanted. They didn't want the accessories falling out. They didn't care. They were worth $1.
You're talking about back then. That's completely understandable. I'm talking about 2022.
Yeah.
And people are putting fun tack in figures' hands to hold a blaster.
He also used the word everyone does it.
Yeah.
Everyone does it.
That means there's not one person that does not do it.
I've never seen that before.
So when you saw a white stormtrooper and then the black blue blaster or whatever color it is, and then you see blue fun tack, it's like wow, like what did he do? Just eat like he just ate a cupcake or something in his hand?
I wonder. Well, I mean, that's because they never have their blasters in their hands. It's always in their holsters. So this guy figured that he should probably put the blaster in the hand and use the fun tack on there. Does that stain the white gloves, Christopher?
The fun tack?
I would have to say,
will that stain your gloves?
I would have to say yes if I was wearing it.
Will that stain the figure as well?
It'll peel the paint right off of it.
It's going to peel
fun tack
stains. It's blue.
I used to when I went to elementary school, they used to put stuff up on the walls using that same fun tack, and it would leave a oily residue on the paint. Yeah. So I'm imagining some kind of chemical reaction, especially if you put it on the action figure. So I probably wouldn't put anything on an action figure. I would probably just leave it by the feet.
I think it also depends on how long it's actually on the hand too. But I would go with the answer of yes, it's doing something.
Well, I mean, these figures are chemically reacting. I mean, Christopher's wall behind him there is melting as we speak.
All the mocks are breaking.
Mocks are cracking.
All the are just cracking.
They're falling off and cracking.
Everything's melting back there.
If we all be quiet and listen closely, we can hear the bubbles cracking.
The amount of these figures are old and they get slimy or they get the cancer on them because they're chemically reacting, and eventually they're all going to turn back into dinosaurs anyway. So we could fuel our cars with them. But I don't think that putting anything in their hands is doing them any favors.
No.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to John Rula, who's definitely watching right now. He's so mad that we're calling them bubbles right now. Isn't he he's the blister guy, right?
Blister.
He loves calling it out.
He's like, it's not a bubble. But he's so right. I never thought about it until I heard him say that, and he's so right.
Yeah, the blister is on my hand, not on the action figure.
You just put some fun tack on that blister, you'll be fine. It'll hold it together. All right, guys, let's jump into our regularly scheduled program here. Who wants to start us off with
pickups?
I always want to say finds of the week. Pickups of the week. put something new in their collection this week, or has something new that they can show us. Oh boy!
Oh, here we go. Bend over. Here it comes again.
Welcome to the White Glove Show.
So,
Whoa!
I got a orange-haired Luke Bespin, and so I've had a couple of them. I just keep upgrading. I had a 70, 75, then an 80. So this is a UKG 85. Yes, I know. I don't like UKG. This is
So it's like a CAS 70.
70.
It's a downgrade from your 80.
So
Is that Ed Sheeran?
So it's gonna, it's Ed Sheeran. So I'm gonna send it in for a regrading, but I have to tell you, they labeled this, or they said that it's an 85, and I've looked this thing over. It's a solid 85. I am very confident that whoever I send this in, this is gonna get an 85. There's no discoloration, there's no rubs, there's no nothing.
Ed
So
Sheeran variant? Is that
yeah,
what
it's
it
an
is?
Ed Sheeran variant.
So
when I saw
write
it-
that on there. It's a 1 of 1.
I'm gonna put it on the label over here.
Brandon's
So-
on fire tonight, by the
Yeah.
way.
Loves the Ed Sheeran thing.
He's on fire about Ed Sheeran right now.
So a couple of questions. First, I noticed that you were holding it with your naked hand and pointing with a gloved hand.
Well, in truth, that's being sent in for a recasing, so I don't even get it.
So when you send it in, the next question, when you send it, when you send it in for recasing, do they do that, or do you have to crack it open and send it in?
I'm not cracking it open. Normally,
Okay.
I have in the past, but I'm sending it in just like that because honestly, it's fine.
See, but then that surprises me then, because I would have figured you would not want them to see that UKG graded it what they graded it.
Yes, but it really is very nice. So I'm very confident it's going to come back with an 85.
They're probably
80.
like, oh, UKG give us an 85? No way, man.
80
Right,
plus.
I gotta believe you're shooting all chance for it to possibly score an 85 plus. There's no way it's going to go up, right?
No, it's not going to go up. It's not going to go up.
I would break it out, and I know nothing.
This is a good video. Send it in.
So maybe we should make a video on how to break them out. Do you use a hammer?
Dremel.
No.
Have you watched my mess ups that I've gotten in? I've smashed it with hammers and screwdrivers.
He has, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the correct way to do it. I mean,
He almost stabbed himself through the palm of
do
his hand with a
you
pair of
back,
scissors.
you back over it in your car?
He has his son throw it up in the air in the driveway.
I think you threw it out the second story window.
He did.
What's a better way to
Yeah,
do it?
no, but that's for
Hammer
like
and
bigger. That's for bigger items, though. But I mean, like the smaller ones, I'd feel really, weird about taking a Dremel to it, or I don't want to.
No, not a Dremel. A hammer and a screwdriver. That's it.
I don't know if I would do that.
I open up my Dremel and I go across the seam on the top and it cuts right off. And then I just pull the figure out.
And you're not afraid of like the acrylic dust giving Luke a new
in my-
hairline, or
My garage.
the acrylic dust giving Luke Skywalker a new hairline? Is that not
Well, number one, that's why I'm sending this in for them to do it themselves. But no, in the past, absolutely not.
do it near the feet so that way you don't,
I so want you to break this out now, because now I want to see what happens. Like with
No. We want him to send it in like that, and he's going to get an 80 plus back.
yeah.
And I'm happy with that. But I honestly think it's going to get an 85.
gotta
So
upgrade it.
let's mark this down on the video. Mark this date down. I'm sending this in for
Part time.
I don't know if I'm.
John's looking at his pen.
I don't know if I'm doing CAS or AFA. I haven't decided yet who, or what company I'm going to go with and stick with. But it's being sent in, and 80 plus is the minimum. I still think 85.
There didn't seem to be any kind of discoloration. I think that would be the biggest part of that.
Yeah. Listen, most of the time UKG always is a point higher or whatever, but in this case, this looked so good. So
Yeah.
it is
All right,
worth
well,
the dice.
We want to hear from all the viewers in the comments right now. tell us, give us your vote. Should Chris break it out of the acrylic before he sends it for regrading, or should he leave it as is, keep it protected, and send it in that way? Let us know.
Or should he keep it a UKG grade 85? Now, after he just rubbed his meat hooks all over the acrylic.
Gave it a tongue bath.
And he gave it a tongue bath too.
All right.
Any other pickups this week? Anybody?
I have a couple of things to share. Yeah, go ahead, John.
So small, I can't even see it.
John's heard that before.
I went back to Walmart and they still had where the Charles, and they still had a couple of the retro Mando figures.
Wow.
That's the Mando and the Beskar.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
It's
The
pretty
retro.
cool.
Now I have a retro Mando figure, but it's got a vinyl cape.
Yeah, that was the first one.
Okay.
That was from that was the first wave. This is the what? Is it the third wave of these figures or the second wave of these figures? I think it's the third wave, isn't it?
I think
I'm
it's
still-
the third wave because the fourth wave is going to be the new the Obi-Wan characters, right? That just got revealed with the Inquisitor and whatnot.
That's where I'll stop collecting.
Oh,
But it's
Because
really
they're-
cool.
Garbage.
that reminds
Really
me.
nice.
I have a new pickup as well. Now that John's showing that, I don't have it with me. It's downstairs, and I'm not going down right now because it's a circus down there. But
Always prepared.
Target exclusive Boba Fett. I found it at Target.
What?
Yeah.
Target exclusive. Is it a Black Series or something? Or
No, the
the
droid
coin.
one.
The
oh,
coin.
the droids.
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh,
found it at a
wow.
local Target pickup option.
Oh
And then
wow.
Yep, picked it up. They had one in stock. I picked it up. Pretty good shape.
Nice.
Card wasn't all bashed in, and actually looked like it just came right out of the box.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So I ended up taking my 2 Bobas and my 2 R2s, and I put them on the bottom shelf over here. And I kind of did put it next to the Power of the Force 2 figures. And my son gets the Power of the Force 2 figures when he goes potty. That's how I potty trained him, was with Star Wars figures.
Nice.
So he thought the Boba Fett and R2 were his, so he already opened it up.
All right.
So
My man.
he has those already.
They look good standing on the shelf, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I got mine for free. I called up Target and they reimbursed me.
Oh,
really?
well, good.
Nice.
Good.
Nice.
Did you show pictures or no?
Nope. I just went on a chat on the Target, like a chat, and he just reimbursed me.
Nice.
Nice.
Easy.
Did you tell him
All
to
right,
check out our video on YouTube?
What's up?
Did you tell him to
Please
check out our video on YouTube? The Target Nightmare?
Oh yeah, he was all over it.
Yeah.
Two
So
brothers,
anybody
one
who's seen
nightmare.
that video now, if you get, I mean, it's worth the shot. If you get a figure that's all jacked up in the packaging, the box is jacked up, or just the figure is poorly shoved into a box, give the retailer a shout and see what they say. You never know.
All right, Charles.
Right.
Just crack it back live on TV.
Is that L7 taken care of there?
This is like hard work, just like staring at the camera, like
Yeah, we're gonna have
relax while
25 minutes.
talking. While someone else is talking, I would just be like this, just relaxing.
I know.
Can't do that anymore.
No.
I gotta stay engaged.
Oh, when you weren't on the screen, yeah. Before we switched over to this stream.
So to switch topics a little bit, does anyone see some of the prices are starting to just move down a little bit?
I don't see really the prices moving down. I just see people not buying as fast as they would, and it seems like items just don't sell as fast. But like I know tonight, I was talking to actually John Rula before we signed on. There was a bunch of loose graded items that I was watching. There was like 15 of them. And if you look at all 15 of them, the prices that they went for were absolutely ridiculous.
Mm.
So they had a Tusken Raider with the long eye tubes that we talked about before in the past. This thing sold for $700.
What was it graded?
85. I sold mine for $150 on the page. And then the 2 Luke's 85 went for over $1,000. Princess Leia went for 600.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like eBay's so like
It's ridiculous.
I don't know if I trust half the shit on there. Whoops.
Listen, if it was 1 item or 2 items, it was 13 of them to be exact.
I saw a Han Hoth, which is a $20 figure, go for over $100 on eBay.
So if you saw it last week on eBay, John put it in his video. A Stormtrooper sold for $317.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I was actually watching that one.
26
loose, or what was it?
No. It's a loose Stormtrooper. It had 26 bids, and it sold for $317.
I think somebody accidentally. The guy relisted it because someone sent it to me, and I looked on that seller's page. He relisted it.
Did he? Yeah, the guy probably didn't pay.
I think the guy meant to put $30.75, and he actually put $300 or something like that. That's what I'm assuming happened with that one. But I was watching 5 or 6 mocks from the Ewoks series, and they went for pretty cheap. I saw Wicket was carded. He sold for $500 on eBay. I think Logray sold for like $230 or $260. They were pretty cheap.
Yeah, so the guy who bought them actually ripped them open and is going to send them in for loose grading.
Really?
No, I don't know. I'm just making it up. I'm trying to get all the old hags of the Star Wars collectors all mad about it.
All riled up.
It's like harvesting ivory from elephants.
2 of them sold for like $300, which is more than they should go. But the Wicket for $500 was cheap.
Great price.
Yeah, cheap.
Great price.
I was watching it too. I wasn't around. And I have fatigue. I don't want to buy anything. I don't know.
Well,
I don't feel
with inflation and the prices of everything being ridiculous now, I don't think people are spending too much money on Star Wars figures when it costs. I mean, the national average for gas now is what, like 5 something?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, national $5. I was like, give me a break. I wish it was $5 here.
It just hit $5 by me.
It was $5 6 months ago here, and that was great.
I think it's $5.15 by us, $5.10.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just filled up yesterday for $4.89, and it was the cheapest I found.
We're at $4.29 in Georgia, where I live. $4.29. Wow. Our governor has.
We did the same thing.
The governor put a moratorium on the tax?
Yeah, we did the same thing, and ours actually went up 30 cents. It was like less than $5, and
That's because you got the mafia up there running the gas.
Someone's got to make the pizza.
All
right. So I have something to share for a recent pickup. Grab this. I'm not a vintage collector per se, but grab this recently.
Nice.
It's still sealed. I haven't opened it, but the old school, the OG skiff is one of the most expensive pieces from the original vintage line. So I grabbed this at a toy show, super cheap. I think I scored it for $25 sealed. The box is in really nice shape.
Nice.
I don't plan on keeping it in the box, but I will keep the box. But I really bought it to set it up on the shelf and make a little display, which I haven't done yet. But
it's the same mold, I think, isn't it?
It very likely, yeah. Because I do have a vintage collection Y-wing for my son hanging in his room. Mm-hmm. And aside from the paint scheme being different, it's red versus yellow. I mean, the ship looks identical. So now we have a vintage collection B-wing as well.
Hey, John, mark this down. The date that Shane has this, and then when he actually has it on display, it is going to be a ridiculous long amount of time.
Yeah,
ridiculous amount of time. Okay,
open it. Open it.
Do it now.
No, I'm not going to open it now just because it's boring. All right, so here's a vintage piece. The Wallminsters are going to love this.
Oh God,
it's like their favorite word.
Garbage
can.
Boring.
I had one of these previously, and it was real beat up. And I came across this one, and it's not mint, but it is so much nicer.
Ooh.
The one I had was disgusting inside, and I would just put a garbage bag in it, but like the outside was displayable. This one is really nice. So I grabbed this recently, and I use that as my garbage can in my office. I love it.
So guys, remember a while back we talked about the difference between collecting and hoarding? There's your answer right there. Shane is a hoarder. Because
we're using our hands now.
Yes,
I had a garbage can. It was plastic. I got this one. I got rid of that garbage can, so now it's a garbage can.
Shane is one of those guys that if it's vintage and it's Star Wars, he has to have it. And like I said, there's a difference between collecting and hoarding. Shane, you've officially joined the hoarding club.
The hoarding club.
Hey, did you get that at Target? I've seen those recently. I think they're like remaking them.
Are they? No, I got it. I got it online because I got the first one at a toy show in person, and it was just to hell. Like,
so now you ordered that one off, on you picked it up at Target. Now
Target.com.
Now here's a serious question, Shane. If you use that garbage can, is that frowned upon in the groups too? Like, would you get in trouble for using that
in the garbage group? Is that frowned upon?
Correct.
I put a little white bag in it. I pulled the little white bag out just so I could show it. Here's my little garbage bag. So I keep it nice and clean.
Shane, please tell me. I will fall off my chair. You do not use a vintage toothbrush
No.
to brush your teeth, right?
No. I use a vintage Sonic Care. I do have one of the toothbrushes that was still sealed behind me.
Do you use the little vintage comb that came with that set to comb your hair?
He doesn't have any hair.
This is it right here. I have one right next to me.
Of course he does. See? Of course he does.
Only 2 of us have hair, Brennan. 3 of them don't have hair.
I use the little mirror and the comb.
So do you could probably get away with using the vintage toothbrush to brush your teeth because they're not that expensive, and I think it'd be kind of cool to use a vintage toothbrush.
I don't think it would be cool at all. Those bristles are probably so hard.
Shane,
or they probably just break off in your mouth.
Yeah.
There you go. Break it out. Break it out.
Yeah, it's still sealed.
And this is what I'm talking about.
if you break
Here's a little different one.
if you break
Open his toothbrush and use it.
Oh, there's a Princess Leia one. See, I got to get that.
He takes one stroke across his teeth and then just go flying there. Go flying everywhere.
All right, boys. Anybody else have anything new this week, or should we move on? Hey, who was that?
I don't know. It wasn't me.
I have all my sounds turned off.
That's Uncle Victor trying to get out of the green room.
All right. So, whiff of the week. Who's got a whiff of the week? Anyone? Anyone have a bad experience at all?
Your old garbage can.
You have a repro garbage pan.
Garbage pan.
Garbage can.
All right. So no whiff of the week, which is a good thing, right?
Yeah.
That's a good thing. Win of the week. We have a win of the week. Anything more than just to pick up a really nice
Your
score?
garbage can.
I think the
win.
I think the win of the week should be Brandon going to a Target and finding a boba.
That's true.
Yeah, I was actually pretty surprised to find that. I was at a flea market, and I know a guy that sells modern Star Wars out there, and every time I go out there, I see him and I talk to him or whatever. And he's got a vintage collection as well. And I asked him, I said, hey, did you get your droids figures in yet? Because he mentioned that he ordered them. And he said, yeah, he got only 1 out of the 2 or whatever, but they didn't cancel his order. He was expecting to get more of them in. And I said, oh, yeah, I didn't wake up in time to order them, whatever, but I heard a lot of people got their orders canceled. Anyway, So he was like, oh, did you try on, the Target app and going to look at that? I was like, no, I haven't tried that in a while. I mean, every so often I do go on there and search, but there's usually nothing, and everything's always out of stock. So I had to stop bothering. So sure enough, he goes on there and he's like, "Look, there's one on at the Target, a couple miles from here." I said, "Really?" I said, "Let me take a look." So I went on my phone on the Target app and I picked it up for order pickup. So actually pretty surprised that it was still there.
Yeah, my order was canceled. Like, it was one of those deals where my order was canceled and I didn't know it. Like, it was just mixed in with my email. And then either one of you guys said something or whatever, and I went and searched my email. I was like, "Oh, yeah, yep, mine was canceled last month. Yep."
That's probably the only figure that I've bought from Target recently that I've been able to find. Usually I go to Target and I can't find anything, or Walmart or anything. Everything is off the shelves.
It's only Lando's. It's just a rat.
They don't even have a Star Wars section in my Target right now.
It's just completely gutted. Every store I go to, and that's just like, when I don't even know when they get them in, or if they ever got them in. It's just, there's nothing available.
And actually, I shouldn't say that. This was before Obi came out, so maybe like a month ago or 6 weeks ago, I was there, and there was no Star Wars section. I don't know if there's any Obi stuff out right now. Maybe there's a little section.
Does your Target have a Disney store?
Not a Disney store, no, but they have Disney.
So some Targets, now that Disney stores went away in the malls, some Targets now have a Disney section that is in Target.
Okay.
It is an entire section, and they move all their Star Wars toys to that Disney section of the store. So if you have a Disney, you can tell it's a Disney section because you walk in there and there's like carpet and TVs and a big Mickey head hanging from the ceiling, and it's the Disney portion of the store. Okay. And they have all their Star Wars stuff hanging in there usually.
I've never seen that.
They don't have that in Georgia.
They don't have that in Georgia. I got to drive to Tennessee to go to Target.
I'll do a video next time.
Yeah, do that. We'll throw it up on the channel. All right, so let's remind everybody to subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you watching the episode. We appreciate your comments and your likes on our videos. Thank you very much for joining us wherever you're taking in the show. And hit that bell icon, please. We'll notify you of YouTube will notify you of everything we put up, and you'll be able to check it out the day that it drops. What do we want to talk about next, guys?
Well,
we got through the regular schedule stuff.
One of the topics I wanted to bring up was I know we used to be huge in Denmark. Huge. We actually have a new country now that's taken place. We're actually bigger somewhere else than Denmark now.
Oh, my. And?
Did you guys see it? The new graphics? Shane sent it out a while back, like a week ago. Do you remember?
But I don't remember what it was.
I think we're huge in India.
Something like that.
Wow.
Sri Lanka or something.
Yeah.
Sri Lanka?
Number 1 in India now. So Denmark moved down to like number 4.
It's probably because everybody's got their VPN set up through a different country. That's where the address is coming from.
Huge in India.
Huge.
Here it is. I said we're still huge in Denmark, but we're demigods in Argentina.
Argentina. Okay.
We put out a video recently, and like the most views from any country was Argentina, where they speak Spanish. So
I love that.
How's that possible? How are they all sitting around and sitting on their couch and they're watching this?
I don't know, but it was awesome.
Shane doesn't even sit on his own couch and watch us. Why are they in Argentina?
He's on episode 32.
The episodes that I'm in, I watch 3 times.
Shane.
That's a lie.
Last episode,
you're in every episode.
Last episode, I moved my finger all the way across. I did it until the end. You were on every single time I fast forwarded. It's you.
All right.
There's no comment.
No, because I was getting ready to do something. All right. Did you guys see that John was gardening, by the way, recently?
John was gardening, really?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
See, he's got them spaced out nicely.
There's some cucumbers. There's some okra.
A raised bed.
What's that? Star Wars figures?
So John heard that if you actually plant them, they come back as last 17. They actually go.
You better hope they don't come back as Power of the Force 2.
Right. Yeah. That's.
Is that a blue snaggletooth? The top left.
I did not use Miracle Grow, so they probably won't come back as a Power of the Force 2.
So now you stuck those inside the dirt.
The dirt.
Is that violating any vintage rules?
I'm sure it's in violation of about 5 vintage rules.
Because the hole pegs on the feet now have dirt all inside of them.
Probably so. Yeah.
Who has had enough of these vintage rules? Like, who made the vintage rules?
I'm tired of it for sure.
Yeah,
I'm
tired of it.
That's contributing to my fatigue.
Chris was tired of it before we even started this podcast.
Yeah,
because he's been saying the same thing.
It's all the gatekeepers of this hobby.
Yeah.
Who are those people? Like, what do they have a name? Like, is there like a group?
The Skeksis.
I don't think there's an actual group.
Is it like the Illuminati or whatever I keep hearing about?
Yeah,
mysterious group of Star Wars collectors that hold the keys to
the vintage Star Wars collectors Illuminati.
Well, it was kind of like we were saying earlier in this episode that, everybody feels like they have to chime in, give their 2 cents. It's the same kind of thing. Somebody will see something and go, "Oh, you're not supposed to do that," or "How could you do that?" or let me make sure I never buy from you.
Yeah.
Come on.
I still think you should open up your toothbrush and your comb live on air.
The number one thing that those people have a problem with is
everything.
Opening still sealed vintage items. They're going to get a lot more sympathy with that from the average collector than most things. But some of the stuff they come up with is so petty and so tic-tac.
I happen to agree with them with not opening up the vintage items.
Right.
But if you guys want to open it, I'm not going to sit there and say, "Hey, don't open up your item. You spent money on it." I'm going to say, I don't think you should open it, but I can't stop you from opening it.
Yeah.
It's your item.
I think you inherently get that feeling like, oh man, I have one of those loose and it's really nice. Like, if this guy's going to just open it, if you were to know about somebody, you'd say like, "Oh, I would rather have the sealed one." That's the feeling you get. But people can do whatever they want with their items.
Someone made a post not too long ago, and I don't even know what the figure was. Maybe it was like a Ramba. I don't know. It was something. He was like halfway hanging through the bubble. Like, it was just completely smashed where you can yank him up like a third or like halfway. And
up to his nipples.
So many people were saying, like, do not take that Ramba out of there. It's done. The blister / bubble, whatever you want to call it, is smashed on top. He's halfway out.
The blister is popped.
Exactly. The blister is popped. The pus is coming out. Pull out Ramba. Does it really matter? It's not a mint on card anymore. It's not mint, and it's technically on the card, but it's not.
Yeah. So their reasoning would be just sell it as is to someone who can't afford a sealed mock, so he can display it like that, and then you take the money and buy a loose Ramba. There's always some kind of explanation that they swing, to favor their opinion.
I don't know.
Yeah, how about just mind your own dadgum business?
Yeah.
And let people collect the way they want to collect and sell the way they want to sell. And
something's yours. I don't even want to know what you do with it. I don't care what you do with it. Don't even tell me. Who cares? Just you do you with your own stuff.
Right.
It's what it is.
So the question for the audience is, if Ramba's nipples are completely out of the blister, what's the call? Can you open that up? Do you have to keep him nipples above and just on the shelf?
Why is it capital nipples?
Well, because we're going to be asking for the hashtag Ramba's nipples, and we want to see if we can get it to trend.
Where do you call it though? Like Ramba's head. Like,
I call it at the navel.
Just fits.
So if he's a turtle head, is that?
I would say,
is that a soft head or a hard head?
nipples are showing, you pull Ramba out.
Right.
There is no right answer because there's a group of people that have their own answer already for that. So
what happens if his legs are coming through the bottom? Where do we call the cutoff line where it says junk? If his junk is below the line, do we pull him out?
Ribbon waist.
Ramba doesn't really
so
have
above his junk, so
like the hardwood floor down there. It's bare.
the junk is blown through the bubble, and then we pull out.
But you can only pull him out. You have to leave the spear in and sell it as it is.
The spear is
And the headdress.
If the spear is attached to the blister, then you have to
spear
fill
and
the
the
card
coin.
with
Don't forget
Oh,
the
okay.
coin.
It's still sealed, so you can't take it out.
Damn.
ridiculous.
All right, so we want to hear everybody's thoughts in the comments. Hashtag Ramba's nipples, and let us know what you think. Where do you draw the line with how damaged a mock in this scenario could be, where you feel comfortable pulling that figure out? Let us know. We want to hear it.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think we've kind of like hit the topic all through the episode, so I think that's pretty
Yeah.
good.
We did. Yeah. We actually started on the topic.
I know, right?
I wrote down one other thing that I'll close with, a pet peeve that I thought of.
Get out your hymnals. Turn to hymn number 572.
572, please. Please rise. You know, we talk a lot about where a figure is from, the different variations of a figure based on the country of origin, you know, what year, the mold, blah, blah, blah. Does it bother you when you hear people say audibly out loud, coup? Instead of, it's no COO, it's no coup. Or what's the coup? That drives me mental. Where do they come up with coup? It's an acronym for country of origin.
It's kind of like people saying mock, even though I always say mock.
We do.
So it's like mint on card mock. I say mock all the time, but I certainly don't say coup. I always say COO.
Bubble or blister, you know, same thing. Where do we draw the line there?
It is true. You got me on that, Chris, because I do say mock. Maybe it's because mock sounds so much better, and coup just sounds so ridiculous.
What about Leia Bausch versus Boosh? I don't like Boosh.
Boosh.
Boosh sounds like douche.
I always say boosh. I don't say Bausch. I say boosh.
I said,
Yeah, that one's gonna.
What
I
about
don't know.
lifesaver and lightsaber?
Lifesaver.
What about Farm Boy Luke versus normal Luke?
Farm Boy. Oh gosh,
It's Farm Boy. It's Farm Boy.
It's Farm Boy. Yeah.
I like Farm Boy.
He's a water farmer.
He's working in a farm and he's a boy. It's Farm Boy.
And I said this on a recent episode. I wish the original Leia had a nickname, because there's 4 Leias.
Like Death Star Leia.
It's Princess
Something.
Leia.
I mean, Farm Boy. You know what the figure is immediately.
Vinyl cable. DCL.
Vinyl. What is it? Vinyl Cape Lando.
Vinyl Cape Leia.
Oh, Leia.
Well, you have a Bespin vinyl cape Leia too.
Everybody refers to her
Vinyl cape
usually
Leia
as-
and Bespin outfit.
Yeah, everybody usually refers to her as A New Hope Leia,
Right.
but
And
it's
that's
Leia
like
Organa on the card.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's a mouthful to say A New Hope Leia.
Yeah.
And the movie wasn't really A New Hope when it came out. We say that now, but even some people don't like that. Some people get pissed off when you say A New Hope. What are you watching? A New Hope. You mean you're watching Star Wars? They get mad.
Well, I'm in the market for some stormtroopers with the Hoth outfit.
Right. Everybody calls them snow troopers, right? They're really not called that at all.
No.
Stormtroopers with Hoth outfit or Hoth.
4 LOM or 4 LOM.
No, don't even start. Zuckus. Well, no, it's Zuckus.
It's not Zuckus. It's
You know,
Thor.
I've been corrected on that so many times that when I list one now, I just write both names.
Yeah. Forlom Zuckus, whatever you want.
Who? Fake Zuckus?
Yeah, I don't even know. I'm so like whatever. I'm
Wait,
like,
what's-
it's the tan one,
who's
it's
fake
the tan one
Zuckus?
or the gunmetal one. Which one do you want?
Who is fake Zuckus? What is he called again?
John's gonna bleep it out if I say it, so it's not worth it.
I stick with the original way that the toys called it back in the day. Zuckus is Zuckus, Forlom is Forlom. I don't care if it's changed 20 years later. I go with how the toys were called, and that's it.
Right.
Yep.
Zuckus is Zuckus, Forlom is Forlom, and fake Zuckus is Zuckus.
These guys never even had names like when the movie came out, which is
No, I don't think they were. They weren't even written about.
No.
them. I mean, when did Timothy
neither
Zahn
were-
start writing stories?
Neither were the Ewoks.
How about
Yeah,
around
I think
Are they
some
in
of
the
those names
credit?
were in the scripts, but they were never mentioned in the movie.
Are they in the credits?
No.
That's a good question. The Ewok are the Ewok names in the credits?
No.
Or the
It's
bounty
no
hunters
credit.
names?
folks.
Huh?
They're uncredited.
Well, see, and the thing is, the only way anybody knows the names of these bounty hunters and the Ewoks is because of the toys.
Absolutely.
Correct.
And maybe some of the books that came out at the time of the movies.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
some
I
of the
don't even.
storybooks
When did the
had
book
more
start? Oh, the
content.
storybook. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like the fan fiction paperbacks and stuff didn't start coming out until Return of the
No,
Jedi.
I mean like the actual, merch that accompanied the movies. Some of those storybooks and some of the books mention some names that the movies don't even mention. So maybe they got them from the scripts, but I'm not sure.
Well, I remember the Star Wars storybook has a whole page and a half on Biggs Darklighter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In the for the original movie?
Yeah.
Oh, so
he's
because
actually
of the
he's
scene that was
actually
cut out.
in the movie and they cut
There's-
it out.
Photo in there and everything.
Yeah, because he was actually supposed to be in the movie and they cut him out.
Yeah, and they cut that whole scene out. That whole.
He was
story.
actually a character with a name.
Yeah.
These other guys weren't.
He actually took that check of the money he made and went out and spent it. And then when they cut him out, he had to pay it back. He was
Really?
yeah.
Oh, seriously?
No.
I was gonna say, how do you not get the money? The editor cuts you out. You have to give the money back. John's gonna cut several things out of this video. Do we
I was
give
like,
money
what?
back?
it's
Have things changed since the 70s? Do what?
Fake.
Fake news.
All right, guys. So
That's it.
we're by the time this airs, I think Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to be done.
It's already done.
It's
Thank
already done by the time this airs. So if anybody enjoyed it, didn't enjoy it, check out our channel. We have a review on each of the episodes. We're all over the place with it, but it's a fun watch. There's short videos between 10 and 20 minutes for each episode that we covered and had some fun with that. Go ahead and check out the rest of our channel. We have a bunch of different categories for different videos that we've put up: unboxings, toy hunts, toy shows. Brandon is always in Las Vegas or at some sort of a celebration where there's collectibles. So
I'll
he's
be there in
always-
2 weeks.
What's that?
I'll be in Vegas in 2 weeks.
See,
Nice.
he's in Vegas at toy shows, toy stores, pawn shops.
Chris hates it.
Walmart.
Places where there's
Target.
dancing and whatnot. All right. So I think we've hit the end of this episode. We're going to thank everybody for watching, right? Subscribe to the channel, please. We appreciate you. And comment. Let us know what you think about the topics that we talked about, pet peeves, what's going on in the hobby lately. Are you having fatigue just from collecting now that we're heading into the summer? There's a lot of stuff to get out and do. If you're in a northern area where you've been cooped up for the winter and you've been on social media, are you getting fatigued now from the whole hobby? Take a break.
And Ramba's nipples. Tell us about Ramba's nipples.
Hashtag Rama's nipples. How far does the vintage figure need to be out of the blister where it's officially allowed by the Illuminati to take it out of the blister? All right, guys, another fun episode. We will see you again next week. Thanks very much for joining us. We appreciate you all. Good night, guys.